Every single person in this world has a story to share. Your story is your superpower, and it's unique to you. In sharing it with the world, you can impact millions of people. If you keep it to yourself, you are doing the world a disservice. This is Dela. I'm the host of Dela's Voice, and I help you share your superpower with the world.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Dela's Voice. This is a live Sunday show. How to manifest what you desire in life. The guide to using the law of attraction in your life is coming right up. My guest today is Dr. Behrang Ajam. He is my mind engineering expert, the expert that talks about the law of attraction with so much passion that I always want to hear from him. I've had him on the show several times, and every single time he brings so much value to the table. And this time he has come out with his book, Manifesting and Mind, the skeptics guide to the law of attraction. Is that you? What do you think of the law of attraction? Fact or fiction? In the next hour, we're going to learn all about what the law of attraction is and all the tools and the techniques that Behrang explains fully in detail in his book. So I want to make sure that you go out and order this book because it is amazing. I have so many underlined sections in this book, but I also want to give you that opportunity because this is like a workbook basically, and he's going to explain all about it today. So please help me welcome on Dela's Voice, Dr. Behrang Ajam. Hello.
Hello, Dela. Hello. Thank
Hi.
you for having me. How are you doing?
Welcome back.
Yes, thank you. I've been here a couple of times.
Yeah, more than a couple of times. My friend. So I'm so glad you're here. This is an amazing book. I want to just show people this Manifesting and Mind, the Skeptic Guide to the Law of Attraction. Behrang, what made you write this book?
You see, I was working with my clients for a long time, and the main roadblock that I found that keeps them from manifesting the life they want is the resistance that they have. They have mental resistance against what they want in life, and they don't know about it. The point is that in most cases, they don't even know that they resist what they want. I know it sounds very peculiar. It's how can someone resist what they want? But that is true. So the first topic that I picked was the resistance. I was about to write a book about resistance only, and the title was different. Everything about that book was different. But down the road, I found that without talking about the law of attraction in general, and the different aspects of it, and the model that I have developed during those days, it won't work. So I added the material to it. I introduced a dream model that you'll see in the book on like a roadmap to how to manifest what you want in life, and I will talk about it today. And then something else happened. I was talking about it, the topic, the subject of different parts of the book, and also, what I'm going to write. And a couple of friends challenged me on this. What is the law of attraction? It is something like a fortune-telling gibberish that they talk about. You attract something. You sit here and you think about something, or you say about it, and you talk about it, and you repeat some affirmations, and you have some visions in mind, and something like that happens. No, it doesn't work like that. That's what they were saying. And you know what? honestly speaking, they were right, because what most people know about the law of attraction comes from sources that are not going into details and the basis of what is going on in there. That's why it is not working for most people, and that's why many people are skeptic about it.
Yes. And so you're right, because a lot of people watched that movie, The Secret, that
Yes.
came out, and everybody was so excited, and we were introducing it to each other. Oh, you got to watch this movie. You got to watch this movie. And it was so exciting. And then after a while, you were like, but that doesn't work.
Yeah. The
That
hype
doesn't,
just went down. It wasn't working because, in a movie, you have just so much time to talk about something. 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. Few people that are talking about it, and there are some. It was more or less like a documentary or interview, a collection of some interviews. And actually, I was skeptical about it too. That's why I totally relate to people who say it is not working. It is all fortune telling gibberish. It is pseudoscience, if it is even something like science has into it. That's why I decided to include what I have developed, what I have experienced, and what I have worked with my clients, and also on myself. A big part of the book comes from my personal experience, what I have applied in my life, what I could change, things that you never think that you can change, situations, people, and things that you can even imagine that. Can we change something like this? Yes, we can. And I can tell you by total certainty that everything in life can be changed if you know how to. Now, back to the question of why Skeptics Guide, because people were skeptic about it, we were talking, and I found that I have to add elements of the science, what and how the mind works, and why it is actually manifesting and mind. And first of all, let me go through the something like the table of contents. It starts like a roadmap of the journey from where you are to where you want to be. And then I introduce the model, introduce the history of the law of attraction, which goes back into the history, throughout the history for a long time. Last time we were talking about it, I believe it was in our Farsi uh, talk that I gave you some idea about the history of the law of attraction, the history of vision board, how cavemen were using that as a vision board to rehearse and think about and prepare their mind for what is going on and what
right.
is going to happen. So in the book, I come from the history, and then the why it works and how it works, and give you the methodology. And as you said, it is more or less like a workbook. I couldn't go into much more details. There should be a workbook accompanying to it, and a friend of mine and I are working on it for a workbook to come later on, so that you can actually work on it. But the basis is in here.
Excellent. When I was going through the book, I kept on underlining. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. This is so important. This is so important. And so I'm very excited for us to go through all the different. Maybe you can walk us through the chapters in the book
Mm,
and where you start. And so
yeah,
just give us an overview. I know we don't have a lot of time to go into details, but to
right.
leave the people with something that they can start using it, in their lives right away. And also, I highly suggest for you to buy this book. It's not very long, so you can probably read it in 3-4 days and start implementing
Yes, yes.
all the techniques. So I want to say hi to all the people who are watching at the moment. Thank you so much for being here today, for your commitment to your learning, to your education, and to making your life better and better every single day. That's on you. That's on you. And so stay with us through this hour and learn a few things. Please accompany us in the comment section with your comments, your questions, and just let us know, how are you using the law of attraction in your life? Do you believe it? Do you think excuse me, do you think it's fact or fiction? Have you used it before? What is your experience?
Mhm.
Or simply just let us know where you're watching from. That's always cool to know too. Okay, so Behrang, please continue.
Sure. Let's go through the chapters as you said. That's a good starting point. So first of all, I defined the journey. The model that I'm using in this book is dream model, and it stands for D as desire, RE as resistance, A as action, and M as mental tools that we'll be working with. So with that dream model, you have a framework of what you want to do and how to do it. Just like any journey, if you want to go to any place in the real world, you have to know where you are, but even more importantly, where you want to be. When you turn on the GPS on your cell phone or your car, the first thing it asks you is where to. So first you want to know where you want to go. And in many cases, I see that people have no idea have no clear idea what they want in life. They have vague ideas, they have vague desires, they have vague wants, sometimes needs, and most of them are much into money and relationship in a very general terms.
Yes, it's
Now,
very blurry. You're
just
right.
like exactly, it's like we are in Toronto, and I tell you that I'm going to the US, and you say, okay, where in the US? I say, I don't know. I'm just going to go to US, anywhere, and I can end up anywhere. When you are just going to the US, you can end up anywhere. But
Yeah.
if you want to go to a specific destination, not even the city, but a very specific street and number in that street, then you have to know where you want to go. And that is when the desire comes into account. That is the destination. D can stand also for the destination. And to do that seems very simple, but I assure you it is not simple at all. I have work, I have to work with people, with clients, sometimes 2 to 3 sessions just to convince them that they are allowed, they have the right, and they can give themselves the permission to just dream. Dela, you can't believe how hard it is for people to just dream, to
Oh,
visualize.
I believe you. I believe you, Behrang. I believe you. Well, is that's where that resistance comes in too a little bit, right?
Yes.
It's not gonna happen anyway, so why should I dream?
And it, they say, what if it doesn't happen? And I say,
Mm,
what happens if it doesn't happen? Worst case scenario is that you are where you are.
exactly.
It doesn't get worse than this, right? But what if it actually happens?
Yes,
They say in English, mind what you wish, because you may get it. So
that's
you want
so
to
true.
define, yeah. So we want to define and design what you want to do.
Yes.
In many cases, they say, if I cannot make it, I will be very frustrated. All right. It seems that and I can tell you that when there is a will, there is a way. There are so many things that have been said about this, and they all relate to the law of attraction. And we just have to listen. When there is a will, there is a way. But you need to have a very strong will, a very strong desire, and it will happen. So
Yeah.
the destination and defining where you want to go is the first step. How to do it? Sometimes it's just like a construction. I always say, just the way you make a house in maybe 6 months. In North America, you can make it in 6 months. In other places, it takes 2 years to make it. But just designing that destination, designing your desire, sometimes takes time. You have to put it maybe brick by brick. But once my clients give themselves the right and permission. They are convinced that they have the right to just dream. They have the right just to want something. Then it goes on, much easier. Still, there is lots of resistance, which takes us to the next step, dealing with resistances. We have talked about resistance so many times. It is the subconscious forces, powers that keep us from going on. It comes from a discrepancy, when two things are not working together. What I say is different or sometimes against what my inner being wants. And by inner being, I mean subconscious. There is some terminology that has been made for it. Some say inner being. I call it subconscious mind. When you disclose what is inside and find out what is going on in there and try to change that so that it is in line with your conscious desire, everything is now put in shape and in place. With the resistance, we are just like two horses pulling a cart from two different directions. It either uh, puts the cart into pieces, or at least you see that it will not work, it will not move. But when those two forces are in line, it goes smoothly with force. And that is the meaning of alignment. I have dedicated a short chapter about on the topic of what is being aligned and what is alignment. Two forces, two big forces in our minds, they are in the same direction. Then everything goes on very well.
I have a question. This resistance that we feel, and you say it's in, it comes from the subconscious mind. Is that the same resistance that wants to keep us from getting hurt?
Yes, yeah,
Because our
exactly.
subconscious mind wants to protect us from something that's unfamiliar. You've explained this so many times to me. I think I finally get it.
Yeah. Resistance comes from what we have learned to be the way the life and the world works. For some of us, it is, let's talk about money, which is very attractive topic and also very easy topic to talk about because there's all about numbers and it's easy to deal with. For many people, how the world works is that money is hard to earn. Being wealthy, having what you want, the material life that you want, is very hard to have. And if you have it, you will be responsible. You will lose your freedom. You will be a bad person. These are resistances that we have all in our minds, in our subconscious. We don't know about them. But as I have said so many times, and also in the book I have pointed out, you want to understand your resistance. Just imagine if you see someone in a high level, high price car, how do you react to them? How do you feel about them? That shows your dominant thought, which is related to your resistance. If you say, look at these guys, these are people who are ruining our planet, for example, it means that you have no respect for wealth. When you have no respect for something, it doesn't appear in your life. See, so that is, and resistance can be very subtle. We learn it at the time that we have no control over what is going inside our heads. Changing that is a big work, is a big job to do. First of all, you have to find it, which is not easy to find because it's subconscious. We don't have direct access to it. Second, changing it needs some work, which is explained in the mental tools. Actually, the mental tools are designed to do that. But as you rightfully mentioned, our subconscious is designed to help us survive. It has nothing to do with our happiness. Let me make it clear. Our subconscious doesn't care if I'm happy or not. It just cares that I'm alive. And what keeps me alive is what I can handle and manage. What can I manage in this world? Everything that is familiar. So if I have lived a way in my life from childhood to now, up until now, my subconscious says, you have survived living this way. You will survive living this way on. So why change things?
Right. So it's better to stay here.
Stay here. Even if you are miserable, you have
Yeah.
survived. I don't care if you are miserable. I just care that you have survived. So let's stay that way.
I love it. So let's take a moment, and look at the comments and
Sure.
see if there's anything we need to address. Lots of people are watching. Thank you so very much. Ali says he shared the link. Thank you so much. And thank you for reminding me to say that, because I want to make sure to remind people this topic. Although it may not be new to you, who is the viewer who's watching this right now, and you're sticking around because you're interested in it, to a lot of people it's brand new and they don't know much about it, but it's something worth sharing so that other people can really benefit from the knowledge that's being offered here. So please be generous and press that share button. Share this link with other people so they can watch it too. So thank you very much. Ziba says, I already ordered your book, Behrang.
Oh, thank you.
She's ordered your book. He's going to start reading it after she finishes reading my book.
Sure. Sure.
And Payman is here from Toronto. Hello. Ziba says, I always say, just ask for it. If it happens, it's great. If it doesn't happen, what do you have to lose? Perfect. Said says, hello to you. Michael Post, hello. Hashtag live love Dela's voice. Thank you, Michael. Thanks for being here. Okay, so let's see. Ali says, dear sir, how can you connect persistence and law of attraction?
All right. That's a very good question. See, we have been told that hard work brings things to our life. What if I say that hard work has nothing to do with success and having what you want? Let me explain what I mean by hard work and persistence. I had a coach myself many years ago who was telling us in a classroom that I haven't been working from 1998. He was giving us that class in 2012. How come he hasn't worked from 1998? And he had packed classes every weekend. So every other weekend, every month he had two classes, two sessions packed with people. And he said, I haven't been working from 1998. Why? He explained, because I have been working and I have been doing what I really love to do. When you are loving what you are doing, there is no force in it. There is so much power in it. There is so much power in it. There is no force in it. Now, let's get back to persistence. If you persist on hard work and forces to push things, maybe you are wasting your energy. In order to manifest what you want in life, hard work and working, acting is part of it. Acting is part of it. But you don't have to put force in it. All you have to do, I say it with total certainty, all you have to do is to eliminate your resistance, and everything will go smoothly ahead. Yes, in order to do that, you have to persist on using those mental tools. You have to be persistent on acting as if, which is explained in the book. Those things, you have to be persistent on how to be the person who can attract what you want in life. And I want to go one step further, and I will integrate it in my next book. You will get to a point that you will not attract anything. What you want will attract you. And that is the see, that's explosion, something that I found, that I've sensed it and I felt it. You do not attract things. The person you want, the situation you want, and the things that you want will invite you and attract you to itself. If you are the person to be attracted, if you are the person to be invited. So be that guy. And if you're going to have any kind of persistence, persist on being the person who can be invited to that situation. And that's all. That will happen.
There's so much ease in that. Just the thought of it, it's so easy and it's so nice, being attracted. So what you want attracts you. It's amazing. There's so much ease in that. So I think part of that letting go of the resistance is not being attached to the results.
Not the
So
intention.
Right? So it's like what Ziba says, ask for it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, what have you got to lose? And so not being attached to the result, that creates a little bit of an easy way of doing it. So Alice is also here, and she's sending us hashtag live and lots of love to you, Alice. Thank you so much. And Michael said shared post. Thank you, Michael. Awesome. These are awesome people who make the law of attraction work in their lives all the time, and they're doing great work. So okay, so let's keep going.
Yeah. I want to say something about what Ziba says. If not, what do you have to lose? Now, I want to see in why the book is called The Skeptic's Guide to the Law of Attraction. Because some people say, okay, I'm not sure if it happens, I'm not sure it works. There is no harm in just imagining things and using that visualization. If it doesn't work, okay, I haven't lost anything. And that is actually some kind of being skeptic, which is totally rightful. It is right to be skeptic about something. Just sitting here and thinking about something and repeating, does it work? No, it doesn't work that way. But I want everything, our discussion, to go one step further. I want you to have faith in that it happens. In every big religion in this world that you look for, there is a statement, such a statement saying, ask and you will be given. And as far as I know, there are at least 3.5 billion people that have some kind of faith that has this statement in their religious books. Ask and you'll be given. I know that it is in the Bible and Quran. When it says ask and you'll be given, it is inviting you to have faith in the power you have inside and what is in the life and the mechanisms that are designed. When we call it the law of attraction, it is just like the law of gravity. It has to happen. Just have faith that it has to happen. It is beyond what if it doesn't happen, I will not lose anything. I want to invite you to have faith in that. And as one of my other teachers, I have learned from so many people in my life. So sometimes I quote them. Having faith is taking the first step. Sometimes people don't have faith and they never take the first step. If you take it, then the road will tell you how to go through it. That's why I went, we have it in our literature in Farsi. I say it in Farsi and then translate it. تو پای به راه در نه و هیچ مپرس خود راه بگویدت که چون باید رفت. You just take the first step and the road will tell you how to go through it. So beyond, I will not lose anything if I imagine. I want you to have faith that you will have it. You ask for it and it will be given to you.
Thank you.
It takes us to another subtopic that I have covered, but let's take a look at some other comments maybe.
Okay, no, we're good. We can keep going. So perfect. So just believing that it will happen because it is a law, so it will happen. Just but we do have to change some things to make that work, don't we?
Yeah, that's the resistance. That's the resistance. When you eliminate the resistance and you align your conscious and subconscious forces, that is when what we can call as faith happens. Now, one thing that I want to make clear in my book, at least, is that I'm not working with the universe outside universe. It has been said in the vocabulary of the law of attraction that, when you ask for something, one of the gurus of this topic says you are shooting a rocket of desire, and then something happens somewhere and it will be given to you by the means that you don't know. Now, I'm not an expert on that topic. I am not in a place to say it is right or not, or true or not. But what I have been working with my clients and what I have covered in my book in here, the reason why it is manifesting in mind is that, it has been estimated that the number of neural connections in our brain is more than the number of the stars in the known universe. I
Wow.
repeat that. The number of neural connections in this space, which is 1.5 kilograms in my head, is more than the number of the whole stars that have been discovered so far. So when I believe that when they refer to the universe, they are referring to the universe within, and that is what I work with. Maybe there is something out there that works. I don't know. But I know for sure that there is a universe in here between our ears. And when we work with that, when we eliminate that resistance, everything happens. That fate happens when, you know, sometimes I tell my friends, why do you think that all the prophets, those books are books of wisdom, even if you don't have faith in them and you don't see them as a religious book. There are lots of wisdom in them. Why is that? The prophets are mostly uh, mm, taken in their prophecy at the age of maybe 40, 50, 60, because it is the time that takes for them to eliminate the resistance and actually believe that it works. And when they believe it works, then it works. And I
They
know that
like that's when they had their spiritual awakening.
yeah,
They
it
woke up.
is, it is, it is,
Yes.
it is. And they want to see, if in order to make it somehow practical, you just want to work with some resistances that you are facing in your day-to-day life and see how when the resistance is eliminated, the doors open. I mean, it's amazing how the doors open, how people appear in your life that you have been waiting for, and they give you, maybe they have been around you for a long time, but you didn't see them because the resistance says, no, it won't happen. I don't deserve it. I don't have the permission to have that kind of joy in my life. And when the resistance goes away, the person who has been around then is there to give you that joy. I say people because most of what we receive in life is coming from people, right? People around us are there to give us, and we are there to give to others what we have, received, the gift that we have, right? So when I say there are people around us, it means that the opportunities, the things, the people are there, but we are blind to them in most cases because of that resistance. When it is eliminated, the person is there, the thing is there, the opportunity, the situation is there. And of course, sometimes you have to change the people around you, not deliberately. As you change, your company and your friends list changes, because when your vibration changes, now you are transmitting something else, and now you are connecting with people who have the same frequency, the same vibration that you have. Then you can connect. Some people are getting out of the list, some people are added to the list. They are there to give you what you need to have to manifest your desire. There are lots of things to cover about this, and I have tried to cover them, at least an outline, because if you want to go into details, every chapter in this book can be another separate book. I know that there is lots to talk about it, but at least to find out how this outline works, to look at it as an outline, and from the scientific point of view, because it is a guide, skeptic's guide, right? This book will give you some framework, some idea, some methodology, and also some practical methodology. It tells you what to do. Of course, not into much details, but at least you have an idea what to do, and some of them you can just apply it into your life to see. And I want to invite you to give it a try, not because you will not lose anything, but because there will be a time in your life that you say, you know what, I wish I had that kind of faith. I wish I had believed. I wish I had given it a chance. What if it would work? I'm here to tell you that it works. There are many people who can tell you. Dela, I guess you have some stories about how it works and it has worked in your life, right?
You know what? It's so true, because I mean, you don't necessarily think back at your life and say, oh yeah, this worked, this worked. But when you do, you see all the stuff that happened along the way, and you're like, oh, I manifested that. I manifested that. I manifested that. And it's because you're right, that resistance was gone and you had a clear picture of what you wanted. And then doors open, people come into your life, and out of nowhere, things
Mhm.
happen to you to guide you to that
Yeah,
place you want to be.
absolutely.
So I have a couple of comments here that I want to read to you. Michael says, "As within, so without. Supreme law, cause inner, rule over effects external."
Yeah, as within, so yeah.
So within, so without. Mike also says, "Thank you both for your great soul service, eternal life, wealth within, revolution of consciousness." He also says what the world needs is a vibrillionaire, and that this is something he uses all the time. Vibrillionaire, vibrational transformation of self. And so I want that kind of reminded me. You talk about vibration in your book, but you say is so it's all about transforming from one being to another.
Mhm.
Uh, so and you say unless you become that person, attracting and manifesting does not happen.
Being,
Um, so
yeah,
a little bit about that, please.
yeah. You see, being that person means, I mean, what our being is doing is manifesting our day-to-day life. As I have said in the book, the way I'm living now, the life situation that I have is the manifestation of my deepest thoughts, dominant thoughts. And that's a definition of the law of attraction that I always use. The definition to me is we attract things, people, and situations that we put our dominant thoughts on it. And I have taken this definition, and the credit goes to Dr. David Snyder, that I have learned so much from it. Now, those dominant thoughts determine what I have manifested in my life so far. So, in order to change that, I have to change my dominant life, not dominant thought. But what happens is that when I change my dominant thoughts, actually my being is changed. I am not the person I used to be. Yes, my physical body, my physical appearance is the same, but now I am sending and receiving another vibration, another frequency. I am communicating with the world from another frequency, another vibration. That's why it is it manifestation happens when you are in line in the same frequency and the same vibration of what you want. And in order to be in the same frequency, you have to change this being. A new being has to be born. Sometimes the new being is not very much different from this being that is there. So we don't even notice it. Sometimes it is totally different. We also have something about this in our literature. It says, die, die in this love. When you have died in this love, a new thing will happen. Bemiri, bemiri, danish, bemiri. This is the meaning of the death of someone and the birth of a new one. The death of one being and the birth of a new being who can transmit and communicate with the world in a new frequency and manifest totally different things and totally different lives. Yeah, it happens all the time like this. It's all about the new being. Yeah.
So Michael says we are all master manifestors.
Yeah.
Just what are we manifesting is the question.
I am manifesting my dominant thoughts. That's what I said. That, my dominant thoughts determine my resistances. My dominant thoughts determine my frequency and my vibration. How I'm communicating with the world is all about my dominant thoughts. And in, per se, 99.9% of cases, we don't even know what our dominant thoughts are. That's why sometimes you need a book, some coach to find out about what is going inside you. Because when I'm living in this mindset, I cannot see it from outside. There is a need for something like a book or someone to see everything from outside and tell me, hey, you know what? You are transmitting this vibration. You are living this vibration, this frequency, and it will not work for you. No, no, I don't have any resistance. I have said this so many times. I don't have resistance. I love this. I want this in my life. Sir, if you don't have it in your life, it's just because your dominant thought is not on it. And the reason why your dominant thought is not on it is because of the resistance. You are not aware of it, just like many people, and that's okay. But if you don't have resistance to it, it will manifest in your life. Now, your job is to change that.
So we hear this so many times. I mean, I'm sure we've all heard it. You can do, be, have anything you ever want. And we hear it all the time from when we're little. We hear it and all the way into our adulthood. We still hear it. You can do, be, have anything you want. And the only reason we are not, or we don't have, or we don't do what we want is because we are resistant.
You can have what you want, but do you know what you want? That's the
Mm-hmm.
question.
Mm-hmm.
In the chapter in the book, I'm talking about deep desires, which is a very great tool to find out what is actually going on inside your subconscious.
We did that exercise
Yes,
together.
yeah, yeah, we did that together,
Awesome.
and it tells you what is the tuning of your subconscious, what is the frequency and the vibe that you are transmitting to the world. You may say, I want power, but your inner being, your subconscious, is set to, let's say, connection and love. You want to be loved. And if you have made a link that if I have power, if I have money, people will not like me anymore. If I have to sell this product, then people will not like me anymore. You see, there is a conscious desire, I want power. A subconscious desire, I want to be loved and liked. If they are not in line, it will not happen. What the conscious desire. And actually, I have done this so many times with my clients. When we look at their lives and find out their deep desires, we just see in a moment how their life has been designed right around their deep desire, even if it is in total contrast with their conscious desire. What they are living is their deep subconscious desire. And the good thing about it, when you know it, is that you will either change that's deep desire, which is not very easy, or design your life in a way that is compatible with it. With that, you have some new alignment, and everything just is in place, in shape, and things go ahead very smoothly. That's how it works.
Amazing. So, okay, some of the chapters in your book, I want to just go through them, just make sure that just kind of go through the index, the table of content. So
Yeah.
you talk about the law of attraction and what it is. You talk about dominant thought, and you talked about that a little bit. That's such a it's it's so fascinating to me, this topic of our dominant thoughts, outer world versus inner world, what you want to be, the true meaning of abundance.
Mm,
That's a big topic
that's
for
it.
you, and I know you've talked about this many times
Yes.
before.
Yeah.
Deep desires,
Yeah.
resistance. You talk about that. You give us some mind tools, give us some actions, do it and do it every day.
Mhm.
uh, Act as if, I want to
Yeah.
come back to that if you don't mind. And you have some troubleshooting acceleration tips. Okay, let's go back to act as if, because we don't have that much more time, but I'm very interested in that part, act as if. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Sure. You see, in most cases, when I am talking to my clients and I said, okay, let's imagine that you are rich. What do rich people do? As I said, I will talk about being rich and money because it's a very attractive topic. And they give me a list of what they would do, such as having this kind of travel and tour and taking that tour, and that cruise ship that they will take for a week,
I will travel everywhere.
travel, they
Yeah.
will buy this, they will buy that. They
Yeah.
talk about the buying part of it. And I say, have you ever heard anybody to get rich by spending money? Of course not. There is something behind the scenes that you don't see. If you want to act as if you want to have the whole package. So if someone who has worked hard and had the idea, had the vision, and have made something big in life, they have something, they have done things, they have been a person that you are not now. You just see the outside world. You see that guy is taking that kind of travel and that kind of he rides that kind of car. If you want to act as if, you want to look at the whole picture and live that way. For example, you want to, let's talk about being rich. You want to be more careful about your spending because they are more careful about their spending. They are always thinking about ways to earn more money. Are you doing that? No, you are just thinking about how to spend money, right? When you live, when you are, and when you act as if you are that person that you want to be, that will that will manifest because now you are living that life, not in one aspect, in a very long, in a very big picture. There's an example, and I believe we will be talking about it in one of our sessions in, uh, especially in Farsi, when we will be talking about the law of attraction and uh, com- relationships. Sometimes you want to attract someone in our lives, but we are not that person. I always talk about being truthful. All of us want to have someone in our lives who is faithful, who is truthful, who is trustworthy. Question is, are we that person too? Because if I am trustworthy, then my frequency attracts people who are trustworthy and repels people who are not trustworthy. So if you want to attract someone, be that person. If you want to attract something, be the person who can attract that. And the meaning of act as if in the book is acting as if you are that person in all the aspects that is related to that situation or whatever you want to attract in life. So act as if is more than just outward appearance. You want to go
Because
deep inside it.
when you are acting as if, you are becoming that person, and you're changing the being so that you can do and have.
You
And
are a new person, you are transmitting the new frequency, you are transmitting the new vibration, and happens that what you want will start to invite you. If you are in that frequency, you will be invited to have, to be, to experience a new situation and a new experience in life. So first it comes from acting, which happens to be new being. Of course, there are some mind tools that we work with that too. But as you rightfully mentioned, that's a very good analogy. You start from acting and then you become that person who is transmitting that vibration, who can attract, or even better, you are attracted to what you want.
so the old saying, and we take it in so many different ways, and I think sometimes we misunderstand the meaning, but the old saying of fake it till you make it, that there's so much truth right here, right now. If you're acting as if you are that person, then you become that person eventually. And I think that's what the meaning is behind faking it till you make it.
Yeah. You want to
I
fake
just
it.
had an
Oh.
aha moment again.
You see, but you want to fake it in full. You want to fake it in full. Fake it as if you are that person, You are not that person. Live like that person and you will become them. That new being attracts things that you want. And that's why I always have been thinking that, when we discover our mind power and start changing our lives and start being what we want to be, there is so much self confidence that happens in our minds, and we feel confident about ourselves. I can do it if I am that person. And all of us want to be a better person. Nobody wants to be a worse person, right? So if we act as if we are a better person in some or all aspects of our lives, then everybody is becoming better and better. And that's why I see the law of attraction, the per se, the future of humanity. Because with learning that and applying the law, we are becoming better people. We are becoming more peaceful, becoming more considerate, becoming more compassionate. Everybody wants to be better in every aspect of life. And by becoming that person and being that person and experiencing the life as if they are, they become that better person. And that better person makes a better life, makes a better family, a better community, and a better globe. That is why, I'm so passionate about the law of attraction, and I know that I will be working on this topic for very long time, for sure.
And you always talk about that, and you always say, this is how you imagine the world would change to this ideal place
Yes.
where you know people are patient and they're peaceful and they're loving, and it all starts from within us. And
Exactly. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
as individuals, we need to start change right here. And so I know you're very, very adamant about that.
Yeah. Yeah. It is something that, like a life mission, life passion, because who doesn't want to make this life, this world, a better place? And that is my way. I help people be a better person by understanding and applying the law, and by having people around me that are trying and want and are a better person. The world around us, the world around me gets better and better. That's my way of creating peace, creating compassion, and creating a better world. And I
That's
know that it is something that happens and works for everybody.
Yeah.
No doubt for me.
Thank you. There's a couple more comments here. Michael says it is harmonious, purposeful lifestyle. Thank you. Annie says so true. Michael says quality foundation of being not the superficial quantity. Annie says start being what we want to be.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's a great way to put it, Annie. Thank you so much. This book is your guide to becoming um, very aware of what the law of attraction uh, can can do for you. And so it gives you all the tools, all the techniques you need. It walks you through, um, very simple steps that you can start implementing right away if you want to understand the law of attraction and you want to implement it in your life. So I highly recommend this book. And I want to thank you, Behrang, for putting it out there and gifting it to the world. It is amazing. It's going to change many, many lives. So we have a couple more minutes, and I want to give you an opportunity to leave people with whatever you like. I muted you for a minute because there was a little bit of background
Yeah,
noise.
this background noise it just started right now. So I will keep it short. Thank
Okay.
you so very much for having me here now. It is always a big pleasure talking to you, being your show, which is totally amazing with you and your beautiful audience. And the law of attraction is a journey. Look at it as a journey of growth. Look at it as being a journey of being a better person and making a better life, a better planet. And with that, we all are growing, and this life and this planet is getting a better place. And that is my mission. That is what I have passion for. And that is my way of making the life and the globe around me a better place. Thank you so very much, Dela, for having me today.
Well, thank you so much, Bet. I'm looking forward to seeing your future work. Maybe that having that workbook out, to go along with this amazing book that you have. Manifesting in Mind is the name of the book. Somebody asked, "The Skeptic's Guide to the Law of Attraction." You can find it on Amazon.ca or .com or wherever you are in the world,
Yeah.
right? So I hope you go get it. Thank you so much, Behrang, and thank you everybody who's been watching this show. I am really, really grateful for you being here, the commitment you give to yourself, for showing up for you, to bettering your life, to empowering your own life and life of the people around you. It's quite amazing. And I'm blessed to be a part of this journey with you. So please keep doing what you're doing, Behrang Jun. Thank you so much for being here again. And everybody else, I want to leave you with blessings for a great day. Have a beautiful, beautiful Sunday, everybody. This has been another Dela's voice, hoping to spark your soul. See you soon, Behrang.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Have a good day.